What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for the Week 32 Premier League predictions. Here are the winning accumulators we had from Monday night over on the Patreon. And I did say in the Champions League video that I uploaded on that day that if you were quick and you're watching that video within the first couple of hours and you joined the Patreon, you would have been able to see my Monday night picks. And as you can see, it went very, very well. Will.i.am was back at it again. He actually stuck $500 on that correct score double and it returned $27,312.50. All for $12.99 a month on Patreon to get these tips. And nearly a 30% hit rate on correct scores with odds of bare minimum 5 or 6, but usually 7 or 8 or 9. That's an insane hit rate. So even if you just want to join the Patreon and exclusively back my correct scores, you would be in the money. Flashing up on the screen all of the people that are supporting me over on the Patreon, and they allow me to do all of the research that I have to do for these videos, for the channel. I post a lot more on Patreon than I do on YouTube because obviously you support me that little bit more. You get the exclusive look. So if you want to shout out in every single video, you want access to the group chats, which has been really active lately. So shout out to all of you that are active on the group chats. It's a lot of fun. Then be sure to click the top link in the description. Check out the Patreon for yourself. And also, as you guys probably know by now, I have welcomed my daughter to the world. She is still a newborn. She's a week old. And that means I haven't had as much time to make these videos. I actually do, for those of you that don't know, I do YouTube for a living. I haven't even posted on my main channel yet, but I came back to do the Champions League and this Premier League video today. So I'm really prioritizing these videos for you guys, but it does mean I haven't been able to do Serie A, La Liga and Bundesliga videos. But if you go to my channel, click it down below, subscribe while you're there, and then go to the post tab, you will see a public post for all 29 score predictions and tips for Serie A, La Liga and Bundesliga. That's of course 9 for the Bundesliga because it's only 18 teams, and 10 for Serie A and La Liga. So if you want to see my tips and score predictions for those leagues, which I'm getting correct score predictions in every league every week at this point, then go and check out the Full 90 post tab on my channel. It seems I have to do more and more admin in these videos, but now it's time for Premier League. And kicking it off, we have Manchester City up against Crystal Palace. Now, Man City in the previous game week, they drew 0-0 with Manchester United, and Crystal Palace beat Brighton 2-1. Now, Crystal Palace, they've been a bit of a bogey team in recent years for Manchester City, and although City have it all to play for, there is a chance that Man City, even with 5 Champions League spots for the Premier League, don't make it into the Champions League. And I mean, I'd like that to happen, to be honest. But then saying that, if that did, they'd probably just win the Europa League. So it's a tricky one. I think really they do belong in the Champions League. They should win this game. And they are the better team. They are at home, so they absolutely should. But I'm just going to go for a bit of an upset. The odds suggest Man City are, of course, favourites, but I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. The tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.7. I think Palace might be able to sneak something from this lacklustre City side. After this is Brighton up against Leicester. Leicester are just absolutely abysmal, aren't they? I posted my initial score predictions for the Premier League game week because I had to miss that video because I was in the hospital. And I said Newcastle to beat Leicester 3-1. But then, as you saw by my winning accumulators, on the day of the game, I tipped Newcastle to win 3-0 and actually made it my perfect score along with Bologna and Napoli, and that came in. So absolutely battered by Newcastle. I think Brighton bounced back from their loss against Palace and beat Leicester here. Leicester are awful. Brighton to win 2-0. And I like the tip of Brighton -1 handicap at 1.8. I think the odds are good enough. I think Brighton batter Leicester in this one, to be honest. Should be no problems. After this, it's Nottingham Forest up against Everton. Nottingham Forest, another team. I got a perfect score prediction. I actually got 4 perfect score predictions in the Premier League last week. And Aston Villa to beat Nottingham Forest 2-1 was one of them. I'll just run through the other ones. West Ham and Bournemouth to draw 2-2. I correctly predicted that. And then, as well as the Leicester Newcastle one, we had Tottenham to beat Southampton 3-1. So a lot of perfect scores, all very well and good. And Everton managing to get a 1-1 draw with Arsenal, but I don't think they deserved it, to be honest, but it is what it is. I think Nottingham Forest win this one, bounce back from their loss at home. I'm going to say 1-0, and the tip is going to be Nottingham Forest to win at 2.05. Now, after this, we have Southampton up against Aston Villa. Southampton have been relegated. Aston Villa are in the Champions League. They played against a very good PSG side. They lost 3-1. We tipped PSG and both teams to score at nearly 3 in the Champions League video if you didn't get on that. But I wanted to maybe suggest an upset here and say that Southampton get something, but I'm just going to go for a 1-0 win to Aston Villa. But my tip at odds of 1.53, you could go either way because they're both the same odds. I'm going to go with under 3.5 goals at 1.53. But if you do think, given that Aston Villa might rest some players, have an eye on the Champions League fixture against PSG, you could go Southampton +2 handicap at 1.53 as well. And that means even if they lose by 1 goal, it still comes in. So that's something to be considered. After this, it is Arsenal up against Brentford. Arsenal. 3-0 winners in the Champions League against Real Madrid. I'll be honest, I didn't see that coming. Maybe it was, like I said in the Champions League video, my pessimism goggles on, where I want Arsenal to win so bad that I was predicting them to not, so that I was happy either way. And I'm happy. I'm very happy they won that. Could have been more than 3, but Courtois actually kept very well. I don't think he could have done a single thing about the 3 goals Arsenal scored, and he stopped them scoring what could have been a couple more, as I said. So I think actually Arsenal are going to win this one. I do. I know their focus is the Champions League, but that 3rd goal just makes it a really nice deficit for Real Madrid, a really nice margin of victory. So I think they can, even with a rotated squad at home, beat Brentford here. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Arsenal. But again, I'm going to go for both teams to score at 1.8 because there's been some quite high odds for Arsenal to have both teams score in their games. We predicted Arsenal to beat Fulham 2-1 and tipped both teams to score at 2.25. They are letting in the odd goal here and there, and I think with one eye on not getting smashed by Real Madrid at the Bernabeu might give Brentford a little chance, at least one chance in this game. So my tip is both teams to score at 1.8. After this, it is Chelsea up against Ipswich. Chelsea play tonight in the Conference League. I think they're going to win that one, by the way. But I think they're going to beat Ipswich here. They've got stuff to play for in the league still. Ipswich, after losing to Wolves, 12 points behind, they're going to get relegated. Unfortunately, there's going to be no great escape. And I think Chelsea win this one and get revenge for the reverse leg where they lost to Ipswich without scoring. I'm going for Chelsea to win 3-0, and the tip is Chelsea and over 2.5 goals at 1.75. Following that, we have Liverpool up against West Ham. Liverpool on their way to winning the Premier League, but they were disappointing. They lost to Fulham last time out, but obviously Arsenal couldn't get the win against Everton, so they only closed the gap by 1 point. Very good from Everton, I guess you could say. But I think Liverpool bounced back here with a win against West Ham. West Ham are safe. They don't really have much to play for. I think Liverpool win this one 2-1, and the tip is going to be, like the Chelsea one, Liverpool and over 2.5 goals at 1.8. After this, it's Wolves up against Tottenham. Tottenham in the throes of Europa League. They play Eintracht Frankfurt, who are one of the better teams left in the Europa League, and they're obviously safe from relegation, as are Wolves. I think Tottenham are pretty jank, and I think Wolves will win this one. So I'm going to say a 2-1 win to Wolves, but the tip is going to be both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at 1.9. I could actually see Wolves winning this one like 3-0, if I'm being brutally honest, but I'll say 2-1 to Wolves. Tottenham are jank, but who knows, maybe they could do something in the Europa League. Following that, we have Newcastle up against Manchester United. Newcastle chasing Champions League places, battering Leicester. Man United drab 0-0 draw with Man City. How many times have we been hyped up for a Manchester derby and it just really falls short of our diminishing expectations? But I think Man United are not at the level of Newcastle, so I think Newcastle will get the win. Man United, also like Tottenham, have a focus on the Europa League against Lyon, who are also a very good team, by the way, and that defines their season, not this game against Newcastle. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Newcastle win, and the tip is Newcastle to win at 1.7. I'm very confident that Man United don't get a point from Newcastle. I think Newcastle are a much better side. And the final game is Bournemouth up against Fulham. Fulham battering Liverpool. Let's go. Lots of goals, and West Ham and Bournemouth drawing 2-2 as we predicted. So I think there's going to be goals in this one. Bournemouth really do need points if they want to get a European place. I don't know if they get all 3. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw again for back-to-back weeks, and the tip is going to be over 2.5 goals at 1.72. So that's going to do it for my Premier League predictions this week. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like. Let me know your predictions down in the comments. Subscribe to join us on the road to 40,000 subscribers, and I can't promise anything, but things are starting to feel a little bit more normal now in terms of my personal life. So it might be that going forward from next week with the Champions League quarterfinal second leg video and the Premier League, that I will be able to do La Liga, Serie A and Bundesliga. My initial plan was to do Europa League and maybe even Conference League videos from the quarterfinal onwards, like I've done in recent years. But with everything that's gone on, where I can't even commit to Serie A, La Liga and Bundesliga, which I really enjoy, and you guys are really enjoying. The last lot of Serie A, La Liga and Bundesliga videos combined had over 10,000 views. which is just an incredible number. So thank you so much. I hopefully will be back to Serie A, La Liga, and Bundesliga videos next week. But regardless, I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.